efficiency, energy sustainability, and infrastructure development.
Delta State is popularly known as the Big Heart State. The big heart for love, which is characteristic of its peace-loving and easygoing people. Delta is one of Nigeria's oil and gas hubs, home to several multinational oil companies and many strategic national assets, like the Warri Refinery, one of the country's 4 state-owned oil processing plants. Until 1991, it was lumped up in the then Bendel State together with present-day Edo State. It became a state entity of its own on the chilled morning of August 27, when the then head of state, Ibrahim Babangida, created 9 more states in addition to the 21 that existed, bringing the number of states to 30. Spread across the length and breadth of the oil-rich state are ethnic groups like the Urobo, Ijo, Isoko, Ishekiri, Anyoma, and many others, with their distinct yet similar cultural heritage. These people, with their rich and unique culture and tradition, are like the individual colors that come together to make up the breathtaking picture on the canvas known as Delta State. Significant in this beautiful blend of colors is the Isoko people, who majorly inhabit the 2 local government areas of Isoko North and South of the state. While the 2 local government areas remain their base, they are scattered across all corners of the state and indeed the Niger Delta region, where they continue to contribute to the advancement of their ethnic group and the development of the Nigerian state. It is also instructive to mention that the Isoko nation hosts the very second economically viable oil well in Nigeria after Otuabagi Oloibiri in Bayelsa State. The oil well is located in Uzere. It was drilled in 1958, and to this day, the Nigerian government has continued to drill oil from different locations across the Isoko nation. The Isoko nation consists of 19 clans, namely Uzere, Ozoro, Eruwa, Owe, Iyede, Okpe, Emede, Igbide, Emevo, Ofagbe, Elu, Oyede, Ume, Iri, Aviara, Olomoro, Enwe, Okpolo, and Ole. These autonomous clans are led by traditional authorities, often headed by a king known as the Ove or an Odio Ologbo, who is usually supported by his council of chiefs and other formally recognized traditional bodies. In Igbide, this traditional institution dates back to around 1668. Over 350 years later today, the traditional institution remains the cradle of the culture and tradition of the people. Igbide people are predominantly fishermen and farmers, known for their very extensive and successful cultivation of cassava and groundnuts. The fishing is done mainly in the Urie Lake in Owodopopo community. It is also the place where the kingdom celebrates the annual Urie Lake Fishing Festival that attracts visitors from far and near in February of every year to mark the commencement of the fishing season. Historically, Igbide people trace their origins to Ngbidi in Imo State and Benin in Edo State. They took early to Christianity. Owodokpokpo community in Igbide Kingdom is regarded as one of the main entry points of Christianity into Isoko land. On January 28, 2021, the revered 8th monarch of the kingdom, His Royal Majesty Edward Obukeni I, who ascended the throne in July 1974, joined his ancestors after about 47-year reign on the throne. This made him, at the time of his transition, the longest reigning king in Isoko Nation and second longest in Delta State.
photo raw mahitena ko wa no fiario na eva du degbere ri amara obo eva inu konana ogbodu averere nu mawori hotel wo ise masero bottle so oyori mas Selo ba vive oyori mate se oba vesa didi ota jabo ona obreselora.
The people of the kingdom mourned their beloved heirs just as prescribed by their traditions. At the expiration of the mourning and waiting period, the process for the selection of his replacement commenced, typical of such processes across the kingdoms in the region. The situation in Igbide was not different, as it was characterized by hiccups, controversies, and a tussle that saw the crowning of two princes from the royal family. The first was of Prince Ozade Obukeni, the late king. This was in direct contravention of the age-long succession practice in the kingdom, which does not allow a direct descendant of an immediate past monarch to ascend to the throne.
When an Ovie exits, it is not hereditary, but there is a family. They rotate it within that house.
Going by this, protests and serious agitations gripped the kingdom, with many opposing the crowning of Prince Obukeni. 3 days later, regent of the kingdom, His Royal Highness Michael Ovade, who had performed the earlier crowning, again crowned another prince of the kingdom, Patrick Okpomo Agri, and this time around, he tried to absolve himself, stating on record that he was coerced to perform the earlier crowning.
I was forced to do something other than this. But now I have come to my causes.
This heightened the tension in the kingdom. Clashes between supporters of both princes resulted in the arrest and counter-arrest of several persons by law enforcement agencies to prevent a total breakdown of law and order, as well as to quell the agitations over what they said was an attempt to desecrate their customs and traditions. At this point, the Delta State government intervened through its Peace Building and Conflict Resolution Committee, headed by Chief Edwin Uzo. After several rounds of meetings and engagements with stakeholders and people of Igbide Kingdom, the committee presented its findings and conclusion, which led the Delta State government to formally recognize Prince Patrick Okpomo Agri, as he then was, as the legitimate and authentic Ove designate of Igbide Kingdom.
We have approved the appointment of His Royal Majesty Prince Patrick Okpomo Agri as the OV of Igbide Kingdom in Isoko South local government area.
Prince Patrick Okpomo Agri attended James Welch Grammar School, Emevo, before proceeding to Auchi Polytechnic in Edo State, where he bagged a higher national diploma. He then attended Edo State University, Ekpoma, and graduated with an MBA in marketing. Not yet fulfilled academically, Prince Okpomo Agri then proceeded to the University of Scotland, United Kingdom, where he obtained another master's degree in international relations. Prince Agri boasts of an impressive record in the public and private sectors, especially in the banking sector. His banking career, which began in 1994, saw him serve in several reputable financial institutions, including Citizens International Bank Limited, Nigeria International Bank Limited, and Lead Bank PLC, among others. Beyond his professional life, His Royal Majesty Patrick Okpomo Agri has been actively involved in civil society and advocacy, participating in groups like the Save Nigeria Group and other liberty and human rights platforms aimed at promoting good governance. and his declaration by the Delta State elicited wide jubilations across the celebration of the end of the kingship ascension struggles. The state government followed almost immediately on July with the presentation to His Royal Majesty Patrick Okpomo as the 9th Ove. The Deputy Governor, Sir Monday Onyeme, who made the presentation on behalf of his principal, Right Honorable Sheriff Oborewari, was confident that the monarch has the pedigree to unite and lead the people of Igbide.
This session is a testament to the unity of the Igbide people. Your Majesty, your credential speaks for readiness to lead. You bring a wealth of knowledge and global. I am confident that your vision to restore peace and development will inspire transformative progress.
Media executive and son of the soil, MAMODE AKUGHA, who read the community's address of welcome, called for the unity of all Igbide sons and daughters to ensure that all hands of the rapid development of the kingdom.
Marks the climax of the selection of a monarch for the Igbide kingdom. In accordance with all important selection, Prince Okpara the First as a man as the new monarch of the Igbide kingdom since Edward Okpara the First, who succeeded the first Ovi of Igbide kingdom.
The well-wishers who joined in witnessing the ceremony were also optimistic that it is indeed a new dawn in Igbide First on the sisters.
Lighting is towards the development of the kingdom. That is why I am happy that as our Royal Majesty,
I've seen who contested for this position, who lost out in the selection process, to come hands with him and share ideas, community forward. This we call our.
To reiterate that as Ovi of Igbide, it behoves in this dispensation, bring God to remain for the substance. Development.
The process stakeholders in God's warning or book and do to random
on his with
for the now bygone. The important thing is serving the kingdom. His Royal Majesty Agre I pledged to strengthen internal unity and external collaborations with their neighbors to ensure a peaceful coexistence that would allow for the development and prosperity of the kingdom and the entire state.
My assurance is that this is going to bring peace. There will be no rancor again because we are all from the same father. So my task is to unite. I want to promise the governor and the deputy governor that they will regret the fact that they gave me this type of office to rule my kingdom, to develop my kingdom, to work with his government.
Having fully ascended to the throne, AKUGHA I moved to constitute history and all for seamless traditional leadership in the kingdom. And the first position to be filled was that of the number 2 man in the day-to-day traditional governance hierarchy in the kingdom, otherwise known as Otota, who also serves as the spokesperson of the kingdom. Igbide is subdivided into 3 major quarters after the 3 children of Eru who founded Igbide, namely Ekpo, which is the senior and also known as Unuame, consists of Ekpo, Urovo, Owodokpopo 1 and Owodokpopo 2. Ekpo quarter is responsible for producing the Otota of Igbide Kingdom. Urugure, which consists of Oteri, Ubiniata, and Urugure, is responsible for the Oletu Ologbo, who is in charge of the defense of the kingdom. Next is Okporo, which is also known as Etami, and it consists of Egbo and Okporo communities. Okporo is also responsible for producing the Oletu Ikpa, which is responsible for organizing and officiating the very colorful and popular Abame Wrestling Festival, which is the formal initiation of boys into manhood in the kingdom. In Igbide Kingdom, a 70-year-old man who has not taken part in the Abame Wrestling Festival is still regarded as a boy. The decision of His Majesty AKUGHA I to immediately constitute his cabinet with traditional chiefs led the quarters to conduct their own search for eligible persons to fill the positions. First is the position of Otota for Igbide Kingdom. For this position, a respected son of Igbide Kingdom, MAMODE AKUGHA, emerged unopposed after his only opponent stepped down, paving the way for him to become the Otota designate. In celebration, elders and youths of the kingdom danced. They took the Otota designate around the community in a joyful procession as tradition demands. Speaking to Inside the Niger Delta, the former contender Chief Eden Akrube explained why he stepped down for his kinsman, MAMODE AKUGHA, to take up the position.
The reason why I stepped down is not that I'm not fit, but I felt he's more capable than me to represent us as far as to the government level is concerned. That is why I decided to step down and make sure he has to go in and represent us as far as to the state and to the national level. Because as an Otota, it's not by just being Otota, a clan Otota in your village. You the entire community. You go there, it's you that will speak on behalf of the entire community. Well, as a matter of fact, the king doesn't speak traditionally. It's the clan Otota who speak on behalf of the whole clan. That is why I decided to step down for him to go and represent us. Chief Mike Edegware and Fidelis Okpodoko also speak on the choice of MAMODE AKUGHA as Otota of Igbide Kingdom.
Now we are fulfilling all righteousness in terms of the traditions of our community. You see, apart from the elected political government of the community, there's the traditional government and the Otota. The person we have just installed now is a key part of that government. In fact, in the kingdom, he is the number 2. He's the second person and all that. So without him, he's the spokesman of the kingdom.
It's what we've been praying for. We've actually begged him to become the Otota of Igbide. Some time ago, he rejected it, but thank God he's back, and we're accepting him wholeheartedly.
Urugre Quarter chose Chief Anthony Idiemuko as the Oletu Ologbo designate, while Okporo Quarter chose Chief Anthony Umukoro as Oletu Ekpa designate. On the 2nd of August 2025, the 3 traditional high chiefs designate were formally presented by their quarters to the king for formal confirmation.
Felix, MAMODE, and confirm what we're
Ọtụtụ ire soso oimero tuwario ebaberome ginuzeme elo otiwire no eme ovienu ma polore oyo gọọmenti deta tarino oswibire soso binikere ayire Oma Guavo, Arejovia, Imamba, Hai Massa, Saichovia, Ayo, and Nahara Ivire, Mano, Omoana, Mano Moana, what day Ivire, see everybody.
She fought to the book or little boy, and also Anthony. Of the Ayo little Paire.
The new traditional high chiefs with the monarch govern the kingdom in conjunction with the Ogbedion Council, which takes care of spiritual matters. Earlier, High Chief MAMODE AKUGHA and his wife, Chief Mrs. Omono AKUGHA, had been conferred with honorary chieftaincy titles of Oriobodo of Igbide and Ewoma of Igbide.
MAMODE AKUGHA. We know that.
To demonstrate his resolve to re-engineer Igbide Kingdom for peace and rapid development, His Royal Majesty AKUGHA I on the 9th of August made some strategic inclusion into the Igbide Council of Chiefs by honoring some Igbide and Isoko sons with honorary chieftaincy titles. They include High Chief Emonena Welis Egukaore as the Okugbe of Igbide Kingdom. High Chief Welis is from the neighboring Ewen community, which had a protracted dispute with Igbide. Others are Chief Henry Ojogo, Chairman CEO of Broron Oil and Gas as the Eni of Igbide Kingdom, and Sylvester Egede of the Nigerian Ports Authority NPA as the Iashere of Igbide Kingdom.
I want to thank His Royal Majesty for this honor that he has given to me. I would be part of the kingdom. I will support them all the way. Not just local, both state and federal. Anywhere we can help, we will do that.
There is peace now in the Igbide Kingdom. Everybody from Igbide should come home, put our hands together, put our heads together, our limits. Anything can be done.
A new era has begun in Igbide, when things are going to change for good, when development, peace and security, safety of life and property is going to start from this moment. So I'm so happy.
It's a privilege, it's a rare privilege. You know, when you are honored, you will know. This one is real honor, because can see how people turn up for this occasion. If you are not worth it, they won't give to you.
A total of 18 persons in all were honored for the different roles they would play in the new Igbide Kingdom. For His Royal Majesty Patrick Okpomo Agre I, a new Igbide is emerging, and his message to the nation and indeed the world is that Igbide is open for business.
Now, I have a guidance that Igbide is open for business. We are hospitable people, we are open for tourism, we are open for entertainment, we are open for spiritual growth, we are open for business. So Igbide is open for business. That is why these appointments are strategic. This title I'm giving, the people that we're giving for strategic reason to move this community forward. So you go tell the world, Igbide is open for business.
With His Royal Majesty Agre I, an enlightened, peace-loving and development-conscious monarch on the throne of Igbide, no doubt the oil-producing kingdom would soon begin to experience a positive change, a change that would usher in sustainable peace that would in turn attract the much-needed development to Igbide Kingdom, the pride of Isoko Nation.
Inside the Niger Delta,